Oh dear God, a fuel drum has exploded. I thought we were talking about hedonism. If there's one constant, it is journalism. Pickles! We got the whole squad. It's pretty girls and a dog. What more could you need? What do you know about bogs, Mercuria? You're from San Francisco. Friends and gamers, hello. I feel like I haven't started a video in a normal way in like a while, like literally earlier today. I did not. It's 11 o'clock at night. I am sleepy, so maybe this isn't a normal way to start a video. I'm still getting over this cold thing, but I am able to talk a little bit better. We'll see how far we can get. I might record for like 5 minutes and be like, yeah, no, we're not doing this, and go to bed. We'll see. However, by God, we're gonna get this anecdote done. I have been putting the anecdotes for the reverse 1999 characters on my schedule, my recording schedule, for the last like 2 or 3 patches, and just not doing them. We're gonna do this one. We are going to do this one because I'm getting ahead on my schedule. I think part of the reason was Tenet, I love you. Sweetie, I love you, but I need to explain myself, and I can't when you're talking. You distract me. What were we talking about? Oh, for a while, I was like making it a priority to do like my dailies and my weeklies and my other games. And I think that was just like scheduling wise, not really working. Like I'm gonna still try to do them when I have time. But I'm very behind on things right now. So instead of that, I'm going to try to fix it by doing things on time. So we're not doing Chronicles of Allure today because that's gonna be a doozy. I'm putting Chronicles of Allure off as long as I can, but so I have my full voice back, because like slowly but surely I'm getting it back, but I still don't have it fully back. You can probably tell. We do have 2 days left on the anecdote for Mercuria. I've not done an anecdote before, so I don't know if this is even gonna be like a full video's worth of content. I thought it would be fun to start with Mercuria. Just because I think she's pretty. I really like Mercuria. So yeah, there is achievements. Oh, this is just for the patch in general. What is this one for? Oh, watch the main event. I'm like, I really want this one. Okay, noted. So we'll enter the anecdote. First time is free. So we got it. I believe there's 8 stages. As per usual, I would like to try and get 4 done today. That's how I run the character stories, but I don't know if this is gonna run the same. Like the story progress sections, it could be like 5 minutes is one part or something like that. So I don't really know. And I'm not really sure about the progress. Like, I don't really know what any of this means yet, but I think we're just gonna like go in and hope for the best. It's set up like a cross between a normal story stage and a character story stage. It has the layout of a normal story stage, but it feels like it might be something different. So we're starting with stage 1. Hopefully this doesn't make me cry because it is like 11 o'clock at night. Stage 1 though, Sunday morning. A mother exits the cotton field. Her son becomes an outlaw. Okay, interesting. I don't know how to feel about this. Luckily we don't need, oh, I didn't realize this. I don't think we can do this today because it looks like it's going to use cells, and I don't have any of those. Okay, well, I mean, we could just skip ahead. I have other things I need to do first. So maybe like we keep this. I think I'm gonna record as much as I can right now because all the stages, if there's 0 costs, we can do them. If not, we'll start this video and I'll like come back and like add on to it when I have cellular activity again tomorrow, because I didn't realize it would cost cells. So that's see, I went into this entirely blind. I already did my dailies for the day. So as you can see, I have 7. I think I actually might have some candies. Hold on. Okay, I have a 60 candy. I have the lollipops. That actually could get us somewhere. Okay. Before we get started though, I forgot about Pulse, because we can do Pulse. The Regulus rerun is on now, and I'm really tempted to pull for her because I love Regulus. But Flutter Page is kind of cracked meta-wise, so I think we're gonna do our pulls for Flutter Page. Because I know I can use her with Jay, so I'm kind of like, okay, I should probably pull for her. Like, in the way that I pulled for Willow, because I loved her as a character, but meta-wise and like gameplay-wise, she was kind of meh to me. Flutter Page is the opposite. Character-wise, I'm kind of like, yeah, she's cute, but like, she's not like a character I would usually pull for, you know? She's cute, we must protect her, she's my daughter. But other than that, But in terms of meta, she's kind of insane. So opposite coins here. All right, we can do another one. I think I don't know if I'm close to anything, quite frankly. And my luck in reverse 1999 is kind of like the worst out of all the games I play, quite frankly. It's like literally the worst. I'm very unlucky in this. Can we do 170? I think a pull is 180. Yeah, I'm out 10. Yeah, figured that. Oh, I did 50 summons this patch. What do you know? 37 on the battle pass. That's kind of insane. No Utilogs. I need to get I think 50 is the last place I can get Unilogs because I have the collector's edition. Yeah. And then everything past that is kind of like boring rewards. So I need to get to 50. So hopefully we'll get somewhere. All right, let's get back to this Fool's Gold bit. Read story Sunday morning. Let's just get right into it. I think I might have to move my box, but we'll keep it here for now. Fool's Gold. I feel like that's a fun, because she's like tarot cards and like all that type, like very like free spirited. So I feel like that makes sense. Also, is this not the backdrop they used for Australia Luru games? Or am I going crazy? Maybe they changed the billboards. I'm not sure. Anyways, it is in fact Sunday morning. Everything suggests that today is set to be a fine one. The eastern wind brings wisps of white pampas grass, mingling with the city crowds, infusing the streets with a spirit of quiet contentment. I think, hypothetically, we are in San Francisco, which is funny because I'm recording this the week before GDC that I was going to go to this year. And then didn't. Again, events that happen in San Francisco that I decide not to go to. We're like at least 2 for 2, if not 3 for 3 at this point. But that isn't it. Oh, dear God. A fuel drum has exploded. Well, I was not expecting that. Okay. Interesting. What just happened? The Hedonian show. The Hedonian show. Oh, head onion. Oh my God. Hedonian head onion. I thought we were talking about hedonism. Nope, head onion. It was, maybe that was done purposely. I'm unsure, because it's onion. Anyways, they say earlier this morning, 2 suspects made a daring escape from a blazing gas station, their van driving away at breakneck speeds. Eyewitness reports identify them as the same suspects who have brazenly attacked over half of the city's gas stations previously. This is Onion, first on the ground and live at the scene. Again, we have journalism. If there's one constant and reverse, it is journalism. Through rigorous investigation, our team is committed to uncovering the truth of this case, one clue at a time. In fact, our initial findings have revealed this explosion to be merely the prelude to a far more complex tale. How do you know that? Who are your experts? The common thread weaving through this story is a name, something that has stood as the ultimate hope for all, the muse that has sparked the soul of inspiration for millennia. It is the true value of gold. MacGuffin the knife. Wait, so is that gonna come, that's gonna come back because it's a MacGuffin. Is it, but no, a MacGuffin is a thing in a story that is literally just to get from point A to point B. So it's like a redundant plot point that probably didn't need to happen that gets you from point A to point B. It might not even make full sense, but it's to move the plot along. It's in a certain direction. I'm pretty sure what a MacGuffin is. But we're in the suitcase with Mercuria, and she says they usually stay around 3 to 8 inches from your body. I have no idea what we're talking about. That is a wild thing to come into. The world outside may turn, but in the suitcase, life is steady, organically stable, perpetually still. So we don't even know what's going on. Mercuria says some are sweet like honey, while others taste like iron. And the wick is something else too, warming the tongue without getting too spicy. Oh, are we... Listen, when I said she was like a tarot card vibey, free-spirited girly, I thought I was wrong. But it is like the 70s or 80s in California. Like, what do we expect? In the common room, they form a circle, hand in hand with eyes closed. We're literally doing some sort of ritual, which I guess isn't that weird in the context of arcane skills and things, but still. A flame comes alive in the center and gray smoke lifts into the air. I feel like this is, I don't want to invite this into my own home at this point in time. It's 11 o'clock at night and we're doing a seance. I picked a bad time to start this, but quote, communing with one's own spirit, unquote, that's one's interpretation of this ritual. We're going to be very quotey here. Literally, my hand started shaking as soon as I put it down. Wow, that's great. That scares me. I'm being possessed. Mercuria navigates the spiritual items, aromatic herbs, and candles on the floor, pausing behind each individual. I didn't know she was this free-spirited. What are we doing? Like, I guess it's not that weird in the context of reverse, but still. She strikes the singing bowl, then rubs rosemary behind the ears of each participant. Who did you rope into this? They do have little voice lines here and there, like the character stories, but they're not as like connected to the dialogue. Like they feel a little bit like to the side. So I don't know how to describe it. They feel like, I guess, redundant. But Mercuria says trauma lingers like a taste. A ringing in the ears, sour, slightly bitter, yet refreshing. Argus is here? My interpretation of the anecdotes was going to be something like these are like flashbacks or something, which I guess it technically will be a flashback story, but like the suitcase portions are current, whereas the flashback is closer to like when the character actually released, I guess. I was assuming it would all be like, this takes place in the timeline where like close to when the character themselves actually released. So like newer characters wouldn't show up, but we have Argus, whose eyebrows draw together, reflecting her discomfort. Mercuria says parchment, the hum of static and leather. Fascinating. Oh, good. I don't know what she's going on about. Onions is here, though, and their head shakes, then promptly settles back into a state of calmness. Mercuria says a gust from a painting, earthy and heavy, painful but passing. Druvis inhales, we got the whole squad. Druvis inhales softly, her features smooth and serene. Mercuria says meadows, sweet-soaked metals, the logic of brown and sunlit pages. Dogs, pickles! We got the whole squad! Dogs often have a higher body temperature than people, especially the more intelligent varieties. They're just vibrating. Mercuria extends her hand, her fingers dancing above Pickles' head as if tapping piano keys. Pickles! That's so great. Literally the whole squad. It's pretty girls and a dog. What more could you need? You know what? Yeah, they'd get me too. They would get me for the seance. They'd get me. Mercuria says, good, now everything's in order. Pickles is barking! And it translates to, what an unusual girl. Pickles is like, what the hell are we doing? Pickles barks again, translating to, her sense of smell evidently differs from mine. Otherwise, she would have said, I smell like the bowl of yogurt. Is this supposed to be read as Carlton or Charlton? I have no idea. This person gave me. More woofing, and that translates to another possibility is that I have a scent even I can't detect. Pickles! Head pats for Pickles! We need more non-human, like not even object characters, because we just got like Brimley and all that, and like with the bottle from the last patch from 2.3. There'll be 2.2, oh my god. I don't know my patch numbers anymore. That's when you know we're locked in. God, what was it? We need more, I feel like I just want more animal friends. Like, I feel like we should have a really mean cat. That'd be fun, right? They don't even have to be 6 stars. I'll take 5 stars. That just sounds fun. But apparently, each one of us must work on diligently building their own sense of self-awareness. But where can true self-awareness be found? Perhaps this is my question to answer. Pickles, you're so smart. Head pats for Pickles. I love Pickles. Mercuria says, I like the aura of your thoughts. Their shine has such a unique hue. And Pickles is just confused. Bestie, same. Oh, doggy. The dog translator says the puppy is surprised. Mercuria says surprised, yes, but curious even more so. Your translator is not as precise as it should be. Yeah, no, I mean, we got a lot more info from the Pickles translation mechanic in the game. Pickles says, well, Pickles barks, but that then translates to, it is my understanding that due to our distinct physiological forms and the vastly different experiences between individuals and species, true perception and understanding are virtually unattainable. God, I love Pickles. Though it appears the principles behind your arcane skill may contradict my previous statement. I do believe I'm becoming somewhat curious. I love Pickles. But Mercuria says, thanks for noticing. Perhaps someday we'll get to know each other better. All right, we have Druvis, who says it appears our healer has discovered a technique for communicating with animals. Or she's just guessing on vibes. Pickles has an aura. Druvis offers a summary of their interaction. Sonetto! Now we get the whole squad. But she knocks and says, I have a letter for you from Mercuria. Sonetto! She asks, what are you all up to? And the meticulous girl, laden with letters and documents, stumbles into the impromptu gathering. They are summoning demons, Sonetto. You might want to go in the other room. Oh god. They're lighting candles and incense and stuff. Oh my god. That's comedy. That is comedy. But also glad to know we have smoke detectors in the suitcase. Before anyone has a chance to respond, the smoke detector above reaches its limit. Overloaded like lungs inhaling too much smoke. That's because that's literally what it did. Oh, so now it's raining. Mercuria, oh no, the sprinklers went off. Dear God. Mercuria says, what a delightful rain. Yes, because you turned on the sprinklers from the seancing. Druvis says we may need to upgrade the smoke alarm system in the common room to prevent it from being excessively responsive during these ceremonies. I think it maybe should be excessively responsive. I have set off the smoke alarm in my apartment with candles before though, more than once. In fact, probably more than 3 times. I have no excuse. Mercuria says the spirits are grateful. And Sonetto says, I have your mail. She's like, hey, I don't care about the smoke alarm. I'm literally just the messenger. She offers the letter outward. Mercuria reaches for it, only to hesitate and retract her hand. Oh, she knows what it is. The music got suspenseful. She says, ominous berries, like the ones you find in a bog. What do you know about bogs? Mercuria, you're from San Francisco. Sonetto says, is everything all right? The canteen has been swamped with letters just like it. They've been putting a burden on our operations. I thought that's an operator, so I like freaked out on that word. Anyways, still hesitant, Mercuria takes the letter, quietly smooths it out, and begins to read. She reads with the utmost seriousness. slowly, very slowly, until at last she folds the letter and prepares to leave. We're going to San Francisco, baby! Soneto says, just a moment, please. And Mercuria's steps are natural and steady and doesn't slow a moment against her words. Soneto says, what's the matter? Is there something going on? Please, Miss Mercuria, you can tell me. I don't know what happened in like the event story and all that they're like close, sure. Mercuria says, my friend, panic like fresh currants and seedless apples. Soneto says, are you talking about his energy? Wait, is it Jay? That'd be so cracked. It probably is. Mercuria says he needs me. And Soneto says, so you intend to find him and help regulate his energy. Is that what this is all about? Because I didn't do the event story for Golden, whatever. Did I? No, I didn't. Because that was like right around when I started playing again. So I just like was catching up with other things. So I don't know what happened in it, obviously. So I don't know how Mercuria and Jay really know each other, quite frankly. I know they know each other because they show up in like the teasers and stuff together, but I don't know like how close they are. So I'm like, oh, y'all are friends like that? But Onion literally just says, but. After wringing out her wet coat, the journalist edges nearer. Are we all going? Is this a group excursion now? Onion says that letterhead. It's definitely not store-bought. Store-bought is fine. Apparently it's not. A white gloved hand makes contact with the letter, turning it over. Onion says, take a look. And Texas State Penitentiary at Huntsville. We're going back to Texas? Yeehaw, brother. Oh God, am I gonna have to break out the Southern accent again? Oh God, my throat's gonna be dead tomorrow. The eyes of all present move from the envelope to Mercuria's face, but she betrays no hint of emotion behind her calm determination. She says, yes, that's his address. Because it's Huntsville. It's at Huntsville, so it could be like a proxy location or something. I'm not entirely sure. So it seems like the gas station thing, maybe could have been related, but Onion's here. I don't really know. So stage 2 is called Meaningless, and it doesn't cost any cells. So we're gonna move on. Part 2, Meaningless. We may be able to get through quite a bit of it because the first part only took 20 minutes. It just seems like anecdotes are condensed character stories. So this is the prison processing area. Who got put to jail? And is it in Texas? Monday is the busy period at this prison intake center, as more offenders are offloaded and delivered into the prison system's clutches. A tequila ad jingle blares from an old radio above, while an arm sporting a pork chop tattoo waves for Mercuria to stop. Yeah, we're in Texas. All right. At least I got my voice back somewhat. The prison officer says, left hand, right hand, turn around. You're not allowed to have any items hidden on your person. Trying to do the accent in real time is actually difficult. He says, go on, miss, you're good to head on in. Listen, I can do a better Southern accent, but not when I'm ill, okay? Dodging a pineapple can tossed from who knows where, she steps onto the noisy floor and enters the visitation room. Who got sent to jail in Texas? Her friend has been waiting a long time. That would, I guess, make sense that we got Haunted Highway, like, very soon after the San Francisco arc, because I guess maybe they're connected? Fingers. Oh, it's entirely unrelated. Cool. But Fingers says, see what I mean? If these pencil pushers can stick a guy in a pink prison suit just for kicks, there's nothing they wouldn't do. Is Fingers Southern? I don't think so. Is Mercuria Southern? Oh, I didn't think about that. She could be. I don't know enough about Mercuria. I didn't do the event. Back to Fingers, he says, you know that old country song, Some Things Never Change. I literally don't know what he's talking about. To be so real, but I don't listen to country music. I say this all the time. I literally like just about every type of music except for country. I've tried to like it. I can't. Which you might think is funny, considering I live in Texas. Yeah, haha, very funny. It sucks. Anyways, Mercuria asks, how are the Cheshire Cats holding up? And Fingers says it's grim. The boss is dead, and the rest of us, all locked away with no light at the end of the tunnel. Well, except me, of course. Around here, death throws a revolving door. That is actually true. That is a problem in Texas. We're not gonna get into it. We're not gonna get into the political stances here. Not today. That's for another day. Not for 11:30 at night. That's for sure. Finger says, 1 second, you've got a neighbor. The next, they're gone. Mercuria says, you're looking better than I expected. Yeah, sure. You don't got eyeballs, but you're an NPC, so. Finger laughs and says, I ain't like those mugs over there, balling over a hand of cards. Me? I'm built different. What year are we supposed to be in? Because built different is not, like, that's a current thing. I've got dreams, you know? Dreams were life's great equalizer. Polished visions for the rich and a rallying cry for the poor. Am I gonna have to get into the political stuff? That's not what I was hoping to do at 11:30 at night. I put off a different video for these sort of things. Behind bars, a dream keeps hope alive another day, even if it is pure folly. Listen, I could go in on like the socio-political blah, blah, blah about the prison system, especially if we're in good old Texas, but not at 11:30 at night. This is something we'll have to save for the second video. We'll go in there because I'm probably gonna be thinking about this all night now. That's a good thing though. I'm gonna be thinking about it all night positive, you know, like gonna stick with me. Mercuria nods in response, but her eyes never stray far from Fingers' mangled hand. Oh, he's called Fingers because his hand's messed up. That tracks. Mercuria says, longing, intense longing, swelling with every iron-tinged night. Your desire might be what you'd call a dream, wouldn't it? I see now. That's why your energy's in such turmoil. Your hands are raw with this anxiety this dream has brought you. Interesting. Mercuria, you're gonna scare this guy away. But Fingers does say right and laughs. Figures, you've always seen right through people, like we're just fish trapped in a glass bowl to you. And Mercuria remains unfazed, the silence broken only by a soft sigh. She says, shame. You need my healing, but my arcane implements were confiscated. They even took the selenium and lapis lazuli. I know how to say that. These are crystals. She's a crystal girly. Fingers says, I have to read all these, don't I? He says, oh, yeah. I need you, my little rambling genius. That feels weird. Never say that again, Fingers. I'm begging you, please. Never say that again. The conversation circles back as Fingers regains his focus. He says, like the good old days, you really helped out our crew back then, and the boss. But this isn't about cleansing energy or anything. I need you to do something important. And once again, he grinds his nails, their pointed tips dragging over the metal surface of the table. Oh, he's filing his nails down to use as weapons. That's also, I think, a real thing. He says the boss is gone and his most precious possessions got no one to look after it now. What are we looking after? What I need is for you to track it down. Fingers pulls out an old photograph. MacGuffin the knife. Okay, so he called his knife MacGuffin. So was the knife then was a means to an end? That's like a metaphor for something, right? A name. Oh, MacGuffin the knife. That's somebody's like MacGuffin is their name. The knife is their title sort of thing. Like this is just like street smarts. A name is a code, a symbol, a query, or a resolution. A term of endearment, a lingering sigh, or the very start and end of someone's journey. True, names are very important. Finger says you're looking at the sole copy of this photo. One of a kind. There was no photo. It was just said MacGuffin the knife. Could they not animate the knife? An unhurried inspection ensues, burning every detail of the picture into her mind's eye. Mercuria does say, is that so? But it voiced it this time. The first voiced line that has actually matched the dialogue. Finger says that's right. No matter what happens, get in and bring it to me. The day after tomorrow. 2 days from now, I'm a free man. 7 sharp in the evening, make sure I get it. Okay, I struggled to read that. She gives no reply. Her gaze is still locked on the photograph of his seeing something beyond it. Oh, there's like some weird mumbo jumbo going on with the photo, isn't there? Mercuria says, I always help my friends, provided it doesn't breach my principles. A favor along the way, nothing more. But I do have a request. Finger says, I'm all ears. And Mercuria says, may I bring someone along? Ooh, who is she bringing with her? No, I'm curious. I thought that was gonna be the end. We might be able to do the whole thing, but no. Wait, is it Onion? We're on Cheese Street. I don't know where that is. Where's Cheese Street? Is it San Francisco or Texas? This looks more like San Francisco, I will say that. But also the cars are kind of dated. And we have the red bus, the big red bus. Northeast, 1 step, 2, 3. Pickles! She brought pickles! I'm so happy. Translation pickles, the pickles translation module. I'm just gonna read pickles as translated lines from now on because announcing every time pickles barks and it gets a lot. So Pickles says, I picked up the trail. It's a familiar aroma. Hold on, is that what I think it is? A strawberry scented red balloon? Why is it strawberry? How you can scent balloons? Along the busy roadway, a thick-furred border collie yanks a silver-haired disco girl along, their eyes locked on a red balloon in the air. She initially means to head in a different direction, but the sudden pull of the leash trips her up before she can adjust. So she's yelling, and after a noisy struggle, the dog slams into a trash can, and Mercuria finds herself thoroughly tangled in the leash. Pickles says, perhaps we ought to reflect on this situation. Our investigative philosophies are as disparate as night and day. Disparate, I think it is. This may explain why we find ourselves at such cross purposes. Pickles just wants the strawberry balloon. Wait, did Pickles say the balloon was red? Pickles, you're colorblind. Pickles, dogs are colorblind, right? Can they see red? Mercuria lowers her head, unwinding the leash looped around her legs. She says, you're worried, Pickles. And Pickles says, did I hear correctly? Me? Worried? Mercuria nods. A conflicted look settles on the dog's face. Pickles says, well, I can't deny it entirely. It's just that this treasure itself isn't quite what I imagined it to be. Pickles emits a low, tender whine. Pickles probably thought it would be a bone or a treat or something, but instead, it's a knife or a dude. We're not really sure yet. What are the two? Pickles says, you see, and the doggy translation module says, puppy cannot believe his eyes. Pickles reaches out, paw resting lightly on the photo in Mercuria's grasp. Pickles says, MacGuffin the knife. The dog points with his paw at the central figure in the photograph. Okay, so it is a dude. Oh! It's a secret third thing. It's a little baby. That's why she brought Pickles. Also, does the dog have an earring? It's like a little chihuahua. That's so cute. Even Pickles says, seems to be a member of my own species. Yes, it's a little baby. That's so cute. That's why she brought Pickles. And that was the greatest treasure, MacGuffin the knife, is a dog's name. Yeah, little Mac. I'm gonna cry. I literally said we can't cry because I have to go to work in the morning. I'm gonna cry over the baby. They have like the eyeball tears. I'm gonna cry. I can't. Focus of this photograph is a small dog with bright eyes. It's either a Chihuahua or one of like those little white dogs. Which I hope the boss of this criminal gang is like, this most prized possession was this little crusty white dog. That would make my day. It beams back at the photographer as if on the verge of charging forward with unyielding courage, prepared to bring down the photographer, or even the whole world. You do that, Mac? Mercuria, what are you going on about? She says, yes, it's in its belly, a genuine hoard of Rhinegold. Because Rhinegold is a material in game. So MacGuffin ate the gold? Okay. She says, whoever claims the Rhinegold within shall find great fortune. I thought it was the crusty white dog, but it's what the dog ate. I hate that. I wanted it to be the crusty white dog so bad. All right, car top dancing is part 3. Let's get into it. Luckily, it is just letting me go through, so that's great. I wanted it to be a crusty white dog so bad. Maybe it still is a crusty white dog, you know? Oh, wait, secret third thing. Finger says, how's it looking, pal? You watching that chick? Oh, I don't want to say that. I hate that I have to read this, but he says, you watching that chick like I told you. Don't say that, Fingers. Don't. No. Don't like that. The voice in the other end says, you mean Mercuria. And I'm not even going to try to give the voice in the other end a voice because we'll find out who they are later, I'm assuming. Finger says, give me a break. Who else? I'm not keeping up your lifestyle for nothing. The voice on the other end says, yeah, I'm on it. I've got eyes on her. Looks like she brought a buddy along, a loyal little Arcanist companion. That's Pickles! Finger says, I know. Stay on top of that little friend of hers. If she backs out of this job or finds it and doesn't turn it in, you know the drill. Don't hurt Pickles! Or the crusty white dog. They both are very important to me. Back on Cheese Street, we got Pickles, who says, not all dogs have a taste for milk, despite what you might think. Do dogs like milk? Like, I know, like, sure, puppies, yeah, whatever, fine. But, like, grown dogs, I would be assuming they would drink it if it was, like, on the floor, because dogs will consume just about anything, including things they shouldn't eat. My parents' dogs like to eat firewood and rocks, pebbles outside. They'll eat anything. So it's not beyond me that the dog would try to drink the milk, but I didn't think they actually, like, enjoyed it. Pickles says, even we on occasion are troubled by lactose intolerance. Okay, Pickles, I don't want to think about that. I wouldn't say no, of course. If there were to be some leftover milk, a little taste to quench my thirst would be welcome. Pickles. Mercuria says, patience, Pickles. There's a new energy here. Is it the dude who's tailing us? Mercuria empties the newly bought milk into a battered little bowl and pushes it slowly toward a scrap heap by the roadside. From the garbage, a small nose emerges, trembling as it presses against the bowl with 2 quick nudges. Is it Pickles? Or is it something? Oh, they're looking for stray dogs with the milk. Pickles says the last 3 stray dogs we found have been brought back to where they belong, to the place their humans call home. That's cute and, like, wholesome, though, that they're, like, returning the dogs to their owners. That's nice. Yet, as of now, we still haven't found a trace of this MacGuffin the knife. There's beeping. The communicator around the dog's neck buzzes to life. Oh, doggy's back. Oh, no, it's Onion. Onion says, can you hear me, Pickles? And Pickles says, I can hear you, Onion. So this thing you gave me before you left is finally doing its job. Did they fix Doggy? Doggy says the puppy's curious. I accidentally clicked through. It's fine. Onion says, oh, you mean the communicator? Yes, it guarantees I can receive your latest updates whenever necessary. Pickles says, ah, so you've been eavesdropping the whole time, eh? Doggy says the puppy does not approve. And Pickles says, I didn't mean it quite like that. Pickles. Onion says the journalist needs to grab every tidbit of useful info whenever she can. It's just part of the job. She looks so happy. Let's get back on track. Have you found MacGuffin the knife yet? Soft grumbles escape from Pickles' throat as an indication of his frustration. Someone's barking. Onion says, but hey, you've managed to find quite a few strays. Pickles says, yes, we found them and received rewards from their grateful owners. What if we just get, like, we can't find the Rhine Gold. We might as well just give a, like, hand over the rewards and be like, hey, we couldn't find it, but this is what we did get. Pickles casts a quick look at Mercuria, noting how her pants pockets and backpack are both stuffed with loot spills and money. Doggy says the puppy is very satisfied with the money they have earned. Pickles says, I wouldn't say excited, not about the money per se. I just appreciate it as the fruit of our labors. Onion says, I see now. Helping those owners find their missing pets has brought in quite a bit of cash for you. But you still haven't gotten your hands on this MacGuffin the knife, have you? Pickles cries a little bit. I clicked through to try it because I'm clicking through to get the full text to come up because it's hard to do voices and like wait. It's like dubbing, like anime dubbing, things like the animation dubbing, things like that, where you're having to read it in time with when the words show up. I could not do voiceover. We're learning today. I probably could if I tried, but here's the thing here. I don't try. Kidding, I do, but it's a video, not voiceover. We're doing fine. But the puppy is disheartened. Onion says, well, it won't be a walk in the park. No wonder this fingers guy put all his trust in Miss Mercuria. My journalist's intuition tells me this trip of yours sounds like it's going to get rough. It's either going to be a bust or you'll end up in deep, or maybe both. Basically, the voice on the other end of the communicator hesitates for a moment. Onion says, from a journalist's point of view, I want to keep following your actions, but from an objective third-party perspective, this is very hard to say, but from an objective third-party perspective, I'd suggest thinking carefully about whether to proceed with this. And on the other end of the line, the journalist waits for an answer. Onion says, hey, can you hear me? Hello? And the silver-haired girl seems oblivious to the sound of the communicator, her eyes scanning the air as if searching for something. We have the smoke coming up again, so that must just be part of her skill. She abruptly lifts her eyes, drawing focus on the road ahead. She says, there, as fine as a cicada's wing, blending seamlessly with the air, and a tiny shudder like a black ant. What is it? I can't even see. Low heels reach a quickened pace over the concrete. Mercuria climbs the railing at the side of the road. Go, Mercuria, go! Look at her! And with Pickles! And there's just some dude. Oh, this is part of this, like, the foot here is part of the illustration. With a quick jump, she lands right in the heart of the bustling, traffic-filled lane. She says, gone, already gone, and so fast. Pickles is growling and says, Miss Mercuria, where are you going? Pickles watches the scene unfold and swiftly follows. Our best friend. But with the towering fence along the road and the cars releasing dangerous fumes, the little dog can only pace anxiously on the other side of the barrier. Poor baby. Mercuria has already climbed onto a car's roof. That's where the title of the part comes in. Oh, I misclicked. Bouncing lightly as she moves from one to another with ease. Okay, she's car jumping. Red, white, black, green. Her feet tread on the scorching car roofs like a dance. Or perhaps an unusual children's game. They said the thing. It was like car top dance or something. She says, southeast, fading fast. Eyes shut, Mercuria senses it, whispering softly to herself. Oh God, there's the guy's head, actually. So there was more to this scene. We got the zoom in, but this is the whole scene. And the driver says, what the hell are you doing? It's dangerous up there. The car owners, without exception, stick their heads out of their windows and begin shouting at Mercuria. The strands of her hair lift whimsically, and without a backwards glance, her words reach the tops of their heads. She says, it's all right, just keep steady. I won't fail now. Pickles is barking again, and the little dog's unwavering loyalty drives him to stay with his companion, even in the midst of danger. A chorus of car horns erupts as the dog leaps up, soaring over the fence and lands beside the girl. Their feet press down on the brightly colored car roofs beneath the scorching sun, carving a path from one end of the densely packed road to the other. Here's the thing though. Jury's still out on whether we're in California or Texas, because we got traffic like this in both places. We got some nasty traffic in Texas, especially during rush hour. So I'm like, yeah, this could be, jury's still out on where we're currently located. It's probably in the United States, but that's about all I can give you. And the tracker says, what in the guy on the phone? In the dark, a silent tracker stares out in shock. Pickles says, where are you going to now? Mercuria says, south, black ants, and warm currents. You know exactly where I'm going. Pickles does not know where she's going, but Doggy says the puppy understands entirely. The like broken signal with Onion. She says, what's going on? Hey, the signal's getting really weak. Whoa, take it easy, slow down. We have surprised the journalist. Hypothetically, we could probably try to do the whole thing in the one video, I think I'm still gonna split it though, and these will just be a little bit shorter than usual. Like if I could do a super long video and get it all done, or I could split it and save my sanity a little bit. So on to stage 4, good news, bad news. We'll start that. I do have to finish this in a timely manner though, because I think this one ends, I'm pretty sure, when I'm going to see the Sailor Moon theatrical performance. So I need to get this done before then, because I'm not gonna have time this weekend because I'm going on Saturday. I'm very excited. I want to try to vlog it, so a video for that might be out already, depending on how I'm feeling. Anyways, Onion says, so who's going to fill me in on what's happened? It is only as night falls and darkness blankets the city that they finally stop their pursuit. I think this is one of the stages or like backdrops they used during Argus Haunted Highway. So I guess we're in Texas? Sure, frankly, they reuse sets all the time, even if it like isn't the same area. But like considering this was probably used in Texas, I mean, Pickles says we still haven't found him yet. It was used in that patch, but it was either for Haunted Highway or not Haunted Highway specifically, but for Argus's character story, or it was used in Allure games in Australia. So I'm not really sure. Jury's out. But the puppy feels disappointed. Onion says, all right, no need for disappointment. Don't panic. There's bound to be setbacks on the way to success, friends. But it's getting pretty late. Do you guys have any idea where you'll be staying for the night? The great outdoors. Yeehaw. Don't do that in Texas, especially. The crowded voices of the city seep through the canvas of a familiar tent, rising then falling as the night progresses. In the hushed moments before slumber, Mercuria notices that Pickles hasn't yet closed his eyes. Is Pickles waiting for her to sleep? Oh, Pickles can read! I don't know a ton about Pickles either, because Pickles released officially during the first patch, and I wasn't super like in tune with the game yet, so I like wasn't really paying attention to Pickles, but I love Pickles. Mercuria says you've brought a book along. Based. The little dog glances up from the pages. Oh, Pickles has been reading! Oh, there's doggy being down there. Pickles says, I hope to finish this work, Understanding Media, in the next few days. Wow. Pickles is into, like, I guess journalism and media, yeah. I've probably read that textbook, quite frankly. I've observed how drastically media and human society has changed, and this book will help me grapple with the core reasons for this shift. I could have a really good conversation with Pickles, quite frankly. I would like to have a good, solid conversation with Pickles. I think we could have a good time. I also just want to give Pickles pets, and that's a perfect time to do it. Mercuria says you're exploring some very complex ideas. This is true. Critical thinking. I won't make the best philosophical companion for you, I'm sorry to say. Oh yeah, because she's we've been over this. She's very free-spirited, if you will. She's a crystal girly. And you know what? I think those two things can coexist. This coming from somebody who has, in fact, studied media, like how Pickles is currently studying media, and has crystals on my desk. I have a crystal that's shaped like Hello Kitty. Like, these two things can coexist. But Pickles says that's all right, and the puppy is not bothered. The medium is the message. Yeah! If you know, you know. God, I have had that drilled into my head. Any interaction between individuals in itself carries philosophical meaning. This is true. God. Was it McLuhan? Yeah. Staring at the book under Pickles' paws, Mercuria appears to fall into a moment of thought. If we're actually like 70s, 80s, I think when did that quote become a thing? I have to Google this now. Medium is in the message? Oh. No, he said the wrong quote. Because it's actually medium is the message, like the medium the thing. I'm using the Google AI overview, which I hate, but it's actually, I think it's decently correct. A phrase coined by Marshall McLuhan suggests that the form of or medium of communication, not just the content, significantly impacts how a message is received and understood. Ba-bum. But I do believe at the same time, I think it was recoined a few years later with media. So I don't think this is, oh, medium is the message. Yeah, no, he said the right word. He said the right one. I read it wrong. To be fair, it is now officially midnight. So I just want to know the year on it, like when that was coined. 1964. So yeah, that makes sense. No, that makes total sense. But staring at the book under Pickles' paws, Mercuria appears to fall into a moment of thought. She says, I can see you prefer the world of literature to traveling your own. Pickles says, most certainly. I think those can coexist. I love literature and stuff like that, but I also really like traveling. Maybe not so much right now. It's kind of crazy out there, but I do enjoy traveling. Mercuria says if the journey starts to wear us down, we can always decide to keep going or turn back. The truth is, the further we go, the more I feel that this task may be more than what I had envisioned. Not every journey needs to reach its original destination. If I think about that quote for two, that's gonna stick. I'm like, if I think about that for too long, I will start crying. And I almost got a little teary-eyed. I'm not even gonna lie, probably because I'm tired. But ooh, Mercuria, this goddamn game. Pickles raises his head and wags his tail. He says, I believe I understand your point. And what about you? What's your opinion on the matter? And Doggy says the puppy would like to know your thoughts. Mercuria gazes off into the distance. She says it was a sandwich. Fingers was the first person to share a bite of food with me. I was 12 and it was my first time on the streets. Oh, we're getting into it now. It wasn't easy, not at first. Food was always the first thing to run out. Kind of learning more about Mercuria from this. That's why I'll always be grateful to him. The little dog blinks his eyes. Is Pickles trying not to cry? Because I am too. Yeah, Pickles, you and me, buddy. Mercuria, do you want a hug? I'll come to your seance next time, I swear. Pickles says you repay favors and stick by your friends. A wonderful trait, one common among dogs. As I said at the beginning, I'm more than willing to continue this journey with you. Doggy says the puppy is with you. But Pickles says perhaps some things can only be understood through the journey itself. Why is this so profound? Oh my god. It's like, this is just like, this like philosophical gut punch. While also just casually dropping Marshall McLuhan. Like, what? This game. I swear. Mercuria extends her hand to hold Pickles' paw. I'm bewildered. Every time I end up playing like an event or a story stage or something from this game, I am bewildered. There's always something. Oh, Onion's back. All right. 5 a.m. local time. What's the local time, Onion? Tell me. Well, Onion says 5 a.m. local time, the city lay fast asleep, including the two protagonists of our story nestled in their cozy little tent. It was then that a shadow figure carrying a gun crept into their tent, and after only a moment, stealthily emerged, clutching a dog. You stole the dog? Cruel, you are a coward! The full account was pieced together following an interview by your humble journalist Onion with the reports from two parties involved. And now, dear viewer, we present to you the full story. Oh my god, the doodles! And Mercuria looks so sleepy. Oh! Wait, Mercuria has a hand on Pickles. Oh! Pickles is doggy snoring. Mercuria is fast asleep. And our mystery man says, shh, Pickles is awake now. The guy starts yelling. Pickles is very awake, but I think Pickles can read the room and see the gun. It looks more like a space laser. I'm gonna be honest. Onion says the border collie may be one of the smartest dog breeds in the world, but wits are no match for the power of a tranquilizer gun. Okay, that's why it looks like a space laser. All right. Now back to the story at hand. All right, is that the end for today? Is that it? Nope, not yet. Mercuria says right, and she's awake. She slowly opens her eyes, waking from her sleep. She says, huh? That it skipped ahead on its own. Pickles, there's silence. The spot beside her is vacant. Mercuria gasps, and she's up. She's on the move. Mercuria on the move. She is running, looking everywhere, all over, using her arcane skill to find Pickles. She just wants her doggy friend back. All at once, a faint radiance enters her field of perception. Silently, she follows the trail to its origin. With the crisp sound of long grass snapping underfoot, she brushes aside the dead leaves beside a rock. She says, hey, there you are. And hidden in the darkness, two small, cunning eyes glint, peering at Mercuria through the crack in the rock. I don't think it's Pickles. I think it's MacGuffin, hiding. But we'll find out in the next reverse video. That's not a patch video. But we'll do the next part next time, starting with part 5, how to tell a story. I actually that's like such a fun way, like a fun title as well. I don't think I got anything from that, so we can't do any polls at the end of the video because I didn't get anything. So, and I don't think they're giving out, yeah, victory podium. You can only get rewards, for doing the event, I think, which is mildly unfortunate, but it's fine. We'll live. So that's gonna be it for today. I like the anecdotes. They really are just like smaller character stories. But I think that's fun. I love being able, because we have so many characters, I love being able to like go through and see more from everyone, quite frankly. And I really like this one, actually. Like I said, it's like, it has this like, it's like a philosophical gut punch, but then just casually drops Marshall McLuhan in there. Like, hello? Like, okay. Damn, okay. Okay, like, fine. I wasn't expecting any of that. All right. But I think that's going to be it for today. A little bit of a shorter video, but you know, we need some shorter videos here and there. I've been doing a lot of long videos recently, which nothing wrong with that. I've been enjoying all of them, quite frankly. Especially the story ones. I really like covering story stuff. But we can use a shorter video every now and then, can't we? That's going to be it for today. Thank you guys for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give me a like down below, as well as subscribe for more and click the little notification bell to be notified when I upload new ones. As always, I hope everyone hatter is having a super lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys!